Okay, students, I hope you're doing well and that this is helping you. Again, this is a very general overview of our Canvas course shell, interrupted, of course, by a barking dog and maybe some neighbors doing construction. Sorry about that. Let's go back to our homepage here. And let me see where it is. Here we go. So here we are again in our homepage. And as I was showing you, the course is organized in different kinds of sections that we call modules. Now, if you want to focus on what is going to happen in the course, I think I jumped this link here. This is the page that has the schedule of activities. And what I want to do is I want to show you that. Now, I'm going to be showing you the document for the group that meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays for lab, okay? So please be patient with me. That's what I'm going to do now is let me take you there. So this is the document you're going to be downloading from that page that I just showed you. It gives you the tentative course schedule, tentative because you always have to allow for possible changes that we have to make. Sorry, I need to sit myself a little more properly. I have a neck problem and I had to give myself some extra support. So these are the units in the course and the topics for each one. A few changes here and there, but don't worry, it's all the same. Now, what's important is starting here on page 2 of this document is you have the actual course schedule. If you download the PDF or the syllabus, this is going to be included in there, even though it's not on the actual syllabus page in Canvas. Notice that on the left here, I have a breakdown week by week of the course and what would be the units that I recommend that you be studying or focusing on during those particular weeks. Notice that the first week of the semester, we covered 2 units. If we were totally in person, that means that the lectures corresponding to those 2 units would be given on that first week. And you say, wow, why so much? Well, the reason is that most of this material you've already studied in Chem 2, in your introductory chemistry course. So hopefully this will be just a refresher. Okay, these are the session dates. So for example, for the Tuesday, Thursday lab, you would have these dates when you'll be meeting. Notice that the dates would not be the same for the group that meets on Mondays and Wednesdays. So those dates would change. Now, outside of holidays and interruptions like that, the sequence of activities will be the same. So in here, I have what is the activity we're going to do on that particular day. As you can see here, on day 1, what I want us to do is we're going to be doing a lab techniques and measurements review. That'll be the activity for that day. Notice that on the second day of that week, we will check in. We're going to be assigned a locker. And we're going to do a graphing exercise. So you can follow through here. Notice that on week 4, that is the week when we'll have our first exam. And it tells you what units is covered. I will post a study guide and hopefully, if it's ready, a practice test for you to do so you can prepare for that particular exam. Now, we usually have a lab manual that you can buy at the bookstore. If it's available, go ahead and buy it. But what I'm going to do is on our Canvas pages, I am going to post the actual procedures and you can download them. You can download them, print them if you want, or bring them on your device. However, what I will have for you in hard copy at the lab will be copies of the data sheets, the ones that you fill in as you do the experiment. So I'll have copies of those. Some of these things are in italics. Have you noticed that? Some of these are in italics. Some of them are not. Well, what that means is those that are in italics, the procedures are written in paragraph form. Difficult to follow. So what I'm asking is that you convert that into an outline form. And that is what we call the pre-lab. I'll talk more about it in our in-person sessions. Notice that over here, the last 2 columns tell you what things are due. So this column here tells you which lab report is due. please be mindful that on the first day of classes, not the first day that you meet, this is the actual first day of classes, which for this semester, 2022, is Monday, February 7th. By midnight of that day, you should have finished this Labster simulation exercise about lab safety. Notice that there's another assignment that is due here. So this tells you which day each assignment is due. Most of the lab activities, the reports will be due the next week, except those that are done what we call a dry lab, which is just worksheets. For example, this one here, nomenclature, you can see that you're basically going to do it and you're going to check it the same day, and that'll be it to take it home with you. Here are the dates for other assignments. So on week 1, we have our first quiz, and you'll also be completing a discussion assignment in our discussion board in Canvas, which I call the Quantum Cafe. Notice that homework 1 is going to be due on the second week of the semester, and homework 2 the week after that. After the first week, the quizzes are typically going to be on Wednesdays. So independent of which section you are, you're going to take the quizzes typically on Wednesdays, and they're going to be online. And you basically start whenever you want during that day. You'll have 20 minutes to finish. Once you start, submit your answers, and the system will grade it. I will go back to it because I had to sometimes tweak a few things just to give you some extra points for your attempt, because these are meant to be mostly practice for you. And the timer is so that you get used to being under a little bit of a time constraint so you can practice for the exams. Okay, so hopefully you like it. So that should be fairly clear. Notice that we have some days, for example, flex day typically affects the Tuesday, Thursday group, but not the Monday, Wednesday one. However, there are some holidays that affect the Monday, Wednesday group, but not the Tuesday, Thursday one. Don't forget, we have a spring break, and then we have the second part of the course. So if you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out to me so I can help you with that, okay? So this is essentially the way it works. Now, another thing that I have here is I have another handout that you can see, and that is just like a, what do you call it, an at-a-glance look at the different assignments. And this is, again, the one for the Tuesday, Thursday group. This is section 30301 if you're in the spring 2022 semester. And what this has is, again, it has the weeks, but this one simply has the different kinds of assignments and when they are due. When they are due. So you can also use this. Of course, your Canvas calendar will also list these out. Let's go ahead and go there. If you go back to, let's go back to our Canvas page. And if you go here to the left in the global navigation bar, you can click that calendar one here. And it's going to have here, of course, this is right now the January one, but let's look at February. And it'll have in here when different assignments are due. There's one more thing that I'm going to give you, but I'll talk about it later, to help you get organized. Like I said, I'm trying to do everything I can to help you succeed. So I'm going to give you one more help set in order to do this. So notice that you have, like I said, you have the itinerary, the scale of activities. You have the assignments at a glance document, and you also have the actual Canvas calendar. Whichever one of those helps you out, you will see actually in the tips for success by other students, some of the things that other students have done in order to get organized. But it is obvious, I think, it should be obvious to you, and it is obvious to me after 2 years of teaching online, that one of the key components of success, not only here, but in any course, is to stay on top of your calendar, stay on top of your assignments. Okay, in the next section, I'm going to talk specifically about assignments. All right, so I'll see you then.